at TV monitors inside HUD. We don't have any confirmation that this directly has anything to do with that. But again, those workers had a lot of changes this morning, Kate and St. Clair.
And Gabe, there has been reaction around the world from what we saw on Friday, that clash in the Oval Office between President Trump, Ukrainian President Zelensky. President Trump had more to say about Zelensky and that rare earth minerals deal today.
Yes, that's right. And actually, the president taking questions in the Roosevelt Room just right now and answering questions about whether that rare earth minerals deal that was expected to be signed on Friday and eventually wasn't, whether that deal is dead. He said, no, it is not. And he does expect to speak more about it in his joint address to Congress tomorrow. However, the president is stressing that he believes that President Zelensky of Ukraine should be more appreciative. And earlier today, the president fuming when he heard that President Zelensky had said that he believed a peace deal was very, very far off. The President Trump rather, posting on social media, this is the worst statement that could have been made by Zelensky, and America will not put up with it for much longer, Kate and St. Clair.
Gabe Gutierrez with the latest. Thanks so much. And be sure to join NBC News tomorrow night as we bring you President Trump's address to Congress and the Democratic response. Coverage begins at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on NBC News Now, and 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific on your local NBC station.
Firefighters in South Carolina are gaining ground on wildfires that spread across the state this weekend. Smoky skies hanging over the state today, but here's what it looked like in Myrtle Beach on Saturday. State officials say some 1,600 acres have burned so far. Strong wind gusts have fueled the spread of more than 170 fires, which are now down to 5 actively burning. Joining us now, NBC all the flames is just dramatic. Now that there's an evacuation order lifted, I think, in Myrtle Beach, does that mean people can go back to their homes?
Yeah, that's right. It was an incredibly scary situation over the weekend. 175 fires simultaneously burning, which prompted the governor of South Carolina to issue a state of emergency to try to get resources to those first responders as quickly as possible. At the peak of this situation, there were the National Guard, Army Black Hawk helicopters deployed to the fires, dumping 600 gallons of water in the area. And as you mentioned, dozens of neighborhoods in the Myrtle Beach area were all issued evacuation orders. That zone actually on Sunday, but it was lifted, those orders, as of yesterday evening. So many residents are being told that they can now safely return to their homes, but we're still seeing tons of smoke in the area, which fire officials are saying could be a concern to anybody who has any sort of respiratory condition. So they're saying that if you are prone to any sort of respiratory condition, to still stay away for now, guys.
And Priya, I know it's not just South Carolina facing these wildfires, or that got a lot of attention over the weekend. What else is going on across the South?
Yeah, that's right. We also saw an incredible fire burning in Polk County, North Carolina. I think you guys have some video of it right here, about 500 acres burning there. They're dealing with much of the similar conditions that we saw over in South Carolina. Very windy. We're also being told by fire officials there in North Carolina that while they don't know the official cause of that fire, they are seeing a lot of these fires in place from hurricanes of climate change sort of simultaneously come together to create these infernos, guys.
All right, Priya Sridhar, thank you.
New Orleans is gearing up for Mardi Gras tomorrow. Revelers have already begun celebrating as parades roll through the city streets. But this year, New Orleans is taking extra precautions, ramping up security to unprecedented levels following the New Year's Day terror on Bourbon Street. NBC News correspondent Jesse Kirsch joins us now from New Orleans. Jesse, we spoke to you a lot before the Super Bowl in New Orleans last month about the security preparations. How's it looking now for Mardi Gras?
Yeah, so similar level of federal resource support here this time around in Clay, but it's a different kind of event because with Mardi Gras, you have a lot of this. You have a lot of floats, a lot of parades, and that means tens of thousands of people lining parade routes that stretch for miles. And when you look at protecting that, that's different than just protecting the Bourbon Street corridor where you can block off with hard barricades every intersection, or where you're protecting the stadium like they were for the Super Bowl. And so what officials have told us is that this is a different kind of event. This is something that is seen as more challenging by the Customs and Border Protection Force that I talked with over the weekend compared to the Super Bowl, because you were looking at longer stretches of geographical territory that had those vulnerabilities. We talked with local police yesterday. They told us they've added new barriers this year. They've added a device to try to slow down traffic where it is still moving so that a vehicle couldn't get a running start if someone tried to do a repeat of what happened on New Year's Day. So there are new security measures in place, an augmentation of what was already planned, but they're also trying to stay true to the traditions of Mardi Gras. That's something that came up in my conversation with the police superintendent here yesterday. And then one more thing to add, in Clay, we're looking at the possibility of severe weather here tomorrow, including high winds. And so we're looking at how that might change festivities tomorrow. But as of now, blue skies out here today. And this is the crew of Orpheus getting ready for their parade, which begins this evening. And right now, it's just a hive of activity with a lot of fun planned for tonight.
Love that. Hoping for more fun, sun, safety, all of it. Jesse Kirsch and Joy, thank you.